I got a little distracted by stupidity, of course. I had to point out that. So the first video I was talking about how I feel like I'm on this island and it's really hard to even it's hard to relate to anyone anymore because everybody is compromised in some way. And I had to reset. And when I pulled YouTube back open, this video was the first video to be...
Okay, buddy, have a fun time at the petting zoo. Goodbye, my son. Hi, Dad. Okay, y'all, let's gather around to pet...
This video was the one that was suggested to me. Nobody and nothing will affect you again, Machiavelli. And so I clicked on it, and the first thing that popped up is the nature of man is such that people consider themselves free as long as they are not overtly oppressed. And I thought that was interesting.
Somewhere along the way, you were taught to care, to feel deeply, to take things personally. That was your first mistake. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every insult that ever broke you came from this one flaw. You let the world touch your inner world. Machiavelli didn't. He watched from a distance, studied people like a surgeon studies disease, not with emotion, but with precision. He understood something the weak never will. If you want peace, you must first destroy your sensitivity. You must train yourself to become immune, to love, to hate, to praise, to shame. No one can hurt you when you are emotionally invisible. No one can...
I disagree with that. That's interesting. Didn't take long. Didn't see, that's what I mean. There's that island idea again, where nobody can hurt me. You know, none of the things that get said in the comment section can hurt me because I see through it all. You know, just the idea that anybody would come onto my feed knowing that I think we should kill pedos, end the genocide, end the J control scheme, and make the world a better place for all of us. To think that you would come in and have an issue with that, the type of person that would do that, you know, that's not somebody that I would allow to affect me. Why would I? You're a piece of shit. You know, if you can get yourself to hate gays and trans, if you can hate people of color, if you can hate, you know, women, or you could just generalize any sort of thing that somebody is, not what they choose to be, but what they are. You know, that's not something I can, what do I care? You're coming from a weird fucking place. And 99% of the time, the people talking shit aren't talking about what I'm talking about. And if they could, like the start, if your whole goal is to disrupt and you know, hurt my feelings and shit like that, the place you start is at my motivation, at my ego. The fact that I believe I'm right, so I should be saying these things. You know, I should waste my life doing this, right? If I'm wrong about something, and I'm this guy who's talking about righteousness, and, you know, I'm correct here, and I'm right, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that. The very best thing you could do would be to come chop my legs out, right? Actually, you're wrong about this, and this is why. And that's literally how things are done at the highest levels. You know, you debate things, you talk about things, you try to you know, you're trying to be right. You're waging a war against the opinion that's coming against you, and ideally, when the one person runs out of shit to say, they go, you know what, I think you're right about this. That's ideal. But the much lower level version of it is you're not even capable of having the conversation to begin with. You're not smart enough. You don't know enough about the topic to even pretend to engage, to pretend to sound like you know something. You're the dumb bully kid out on the playground. And the nerd is making fun of you and everybody's sort of laughing at it, but you don't get it. So you get mad. And you start, trying to bully your way through things. And that's all that I ever see. Like there's nobody that comes on here that is in this position where I'm just like, holy shit, I think this person is spectacular. What they think about me matters tremendously. None of you have that ability. You shouldn't watch if you're bored, for sure. You should run away. And so this whole thing that we're doing here has to do with like the fundamental aspects of life. That question that people don't seem to ask. It used to be a really big question. You'd see it all over the place. Why are we here? What is the purpose? Blah, blah, blah. People don't really ask that anymore. Most people just think they know. And so many of you are religious, and you blame or you claim that you know because of the religious aspect, but you know nothing about the religious aspect. You might have some surface level knowledge. You can recite like two or three of the commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. You don't know that shit. Really interesting to think that like what you believe in has to do with like eternity, something you can't wrap your head around. But you believe that this is just sort of like a blink in the eye, and for some reason your soul is here to go through trials and tribulations so that when you go to heaven, when you die, you can go to heaven, and just bullshit. But you believe that it'll last forever, that you like once you die, then everything really gets going. And so the thing that fosters that belief structure isn't something that you were like, yeah, I know that shit inside and out. It has to do with my eternity. And from what I can tell, there's a pretty specific list of shit that'll get you sent to a much of the bad place. God loves you and all, but if you don't follow this specific set of rules, it's hell for all of eternity for you. And you would think, like, if you really believe that, you would absolutely go out of your way to make sure you did not break any of those fucking rules. You wouldn't have sex before marriage. Good morning. How are you? Good, good. You wouldn't have sex before marriage. You wouldn't have sex for anything other than procreation reasons. you would, you wouldn't have any tattoos. You'd watch what you say. If you really thought it really mattered, you'd probably incorporate even all the goofy shit. You'd probably even, get into some Old Testament shit just to make sure you're safe. If you really believed it. But you don't really believe it. Why do I, if I go to the same watering hole every day, and every day I catch the same dumb fish, Does that answer your question, you dumb fish? I find it hard to talk about other things. It's all so, so much of it is just distraction and bullshit that I end up talking about it and feeling silly in the process. Because at the end of the day, the fuck do I know? I only know what I'm told to know. Out of what I'm told to know, the parts I chose to believe. That's it. There are all sorts of narratives out there that I choose not to believe for whatever reason. And then there's the ones I choose to believe. But at the end of the day, I have no firsthand knowledge of any of it. And neither do you. You just believe what you want to believe. It really does come down to arrogance. You're really just an arrogant fuck. We all are. We've been programmed to be insecure. We've been programmed to be ignorant, insecure, arrogant sheep. Literally, that's it. You're all so ignorant and arrogant and insecure all at the same time. You know what you believe in is right, but you don't want anybody questioning it. Right? When you're right, when you have the truth about something, when you get shot in the ear and survive that shit, you don't say, I'm just going to tell this story one time and that's it. You tell that story every chance you can get. Tell us about getting shot. Fuck yeah, I'll tell you about getting shot. That shit was crazy. There's another one of those talking points. I'm projecting. What am I projecting again? Seems like some dumb J thing to say. My water up there. Oh, I'm such a projector. Strange, so when, the logic is when so many people say it, it must be true, right? My wife says it to me a lot too. So I immediately say, okay, how? How? Let's see. Am I doing this thing? Am I guilty of what's being said? Am I projecting myself onto things? Well, when it comes to ignorance and insecurity and arrogance, I don't believe so. I believe I'm confident. I believe I have a strong ego, and I believe everyone should have a strong ego. everyone should know what they do well and believe that they're the best person for whatever job that they think they do really well. Thinking that you can do unrealistic things like I could just get up and go to the basketball court and compete with the kids that play every day, the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and I get crushed. That's realistic. But the insecure arrogance part, like, I want to be wrong. You know? Go ahead, please convince me that as long as I'm just a good goyim slave, that I will get to go hang out with Jimi Hendrix in heaven. And I'll be able to bypass whatever security he has because I'm sure he's sick of people wanting to meet him. Gotta love the cicadas. You know, this whole thing is such an interesting journey. Like, you see how it's playing out, and you see that the narrative being used against you, and there's, you know, it's weird. Like, again, if I'm off, you know, I don't know how else to fix it. If I'm wrong, if I'm off, whatever it may be, well, I don't see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go live, and I'm just gonna talk about the things that I think. And I'm gonna look into stuff, and I'm gonna try to, you know, just try to figure things out. And invite people to critique everything I'm doing. You know? Everything I'm saying, all of the points being made, all of it, all the accusations, all the claims. Critique it. Find the little holes in whatever I'm doing or saying that's not correct, and see, you know, and point those out. And other than that, I really don't know how else to get better. I read what they want me to read. You know? I talk about it on the platform. And yet the best I'm gonna get is, bro, there's no way this guy is still going on with this day after day. Bro, the best I get is somebody that says bro so much they type it out. Do you realize how difficult it is to think you're wrong when this is all you get is just low-level stupidity? And then you go, okay, I'm gonna bypass the low-level stupidity, and I'm going to go to the source, or at least the official narrative source. I'll go check out what Wikipedia says about this thing or that thing. I'll go read whatever article I need to read about it. And when I do that, it's just the same shit. You know, it's frighteningly stupid. Yep, what I need is therapy. Yep, that's what it must be. Going live and saying, okay, tell me what I'm wrong about, means you need therapy. Got ya. Not trolling somebody that does that and refusing to actually engage in the conversation, begging for attention yourself. That's totally normal. That's what I should be doing instead of what I am doing. Instead of what I'm doing, I should be looking for people doing what I'm doing, finding their feed and being like, all right, stop doing this. I'm too stupid to ask the same questions you ask or answer the questions you ask. So you should stop doing this. All right, that's it. And until you stop doing it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to watch you for hours on end, day after day, begging for your attention. That totally makes sense. I don't know why I do this. I should be doing that. That means you're the good one. I'm the bad one for providing the content while asking the questions and providing the platform for other people to, prove me wrong, prove themselves correct. And instead I should be trolling like this dumbass. Gotcha. People watch you to make fun of your demented rambles, mate. Yup. Like, again, if that's what it takes, like if you say I'm demented because I think we should kill pedos and I think we should stop the genocide and overthrow the Jays, that says more about you than anything else. And again, to think like that person, the person that thinks like that, is making fun of me, ooh, ow. That person is going to spend days and days and days watching me, building up my numbers and shit. Yeah, oh man, that just hurts my feelings so much. Please stop doing it. Please stop coming here day after day. Please stop coming day after day and proving how stupid the other side has to be. Please. Yep, I'm in the woods. Gotta love the woods I'm in. Like I always say, if somebody is willing to say something that stupid where it's as easy to prove as turning the phone around for a second, if they're willing to say something that stupid, they're willing to say anything. They effectively kill any credibility they may have from here on out. They're stupid. They're desperate. And I love when people do that. It makes it so easy. Doesn't matter what people tell you. You're, see, here we go. So now you can do this thing where you can say this crybaby, but you can't tell me what I'm wrong about. And it doesn't matter whatever else you say, but you still say those things. But to tell me what I'm wrong about, that's where you draw the line. I get you. That makes sense. I'll come here and I'll say all kinds of stupid shit and I'll beg for your attention and I'll do that and you'll make fun of me back and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to actually having any sort of intelligent input into this conversation, are you kidding me? How dare you, sir? How dare you assume that I can bring some intelligent input into this conversation? It's always projection and crying about trolling. I am bawling. Oh, I'm so upset. All right, like again, please stop. Please stop providing me numbers. Please stop providing such a great example of what I'm talking about. Please. Oh, you don't provide a platform to prove anything wrong because you don't listen, but yeah, because you're speaking, so I can hear you. But you're somebody with whom I should listen to because, you're clearly so intelligent. Another one of these, another comment that you can say that knowing I'm just going to deny it and point out how stupid you are, blah, blah, blah. The same excuse you had for the other thing, but you can say this thing. You can keep saying the same dumb shit. I really do appreciate it. You make this so easy. This has gotta be rage bait. Oh yes, it's rage bait. I'm rage baiting you. I'm pointing out how stupid you are, which is baiting you into raging, and you're falling for it. What a dumbass. Because now it's the claim that I've been told multiple times again that you can't tell me why because you've said it before. You can say all this same shit multiple times, but the why, you just can't do that. And you always find some mental loophole to make you right no matter the topic. Isn't that weird? How am I able to do something So that's not something anybody else seems to be able to do. But again, it's not like you're actually doing it. So who knows what you're talking about? Now you're going to start talking to the random person, right? Yeah. No, I can't block them, right? Blocking them, the only time people get blocked is if they start using pedo codes and all that shit. I have a limit there. But this is Team Jorge. This is what people need to realize. This is manufactured. This is what they do. You know. Shit, you were supposed to get blunts, did you? Did you get blunts?
No, I really. We'll get him in a minute. I was going to give you this. I'm just trying to finish this message to Kim.
Come on, Snooch. Yeah. Like, blocking them is I don't know, I think they get some sort of bonus for that. Not too sure. But it's all there. It's all, it's all available for you to find it. Everybody needs to look up Team Jorge. Team Jorge answers all the questions. I mean, it's something so simple as, it's you ask somebody a question. Hey, why are you here? What motivates you to be here? And they act like you're asking them their social security number and shit. Belch. If the morons were filtered out, then the live stream have been banned a long time ago. If the morons were filtered out, then the live stream would have been banned a while back. What does that even mean? Why would the live stream be banned if I filtered people like you out? How does... You thought that was a good response? Well, if you want to hear about submarines, go watch part 1 through 9. That's when we're talking about submarines, not like what we're doing right now. If you really, really do care about submarines for some reason. Explain what's a pedo code, since nobody knows what you're talking about. Oh, I think people know what I'm talking about. I went to get my radio. Yep. It's they think by mocking it, it somehow discredits it. I thought you're American. How could you misunderstand this? Yeah, dementia now. Yep. So, just so people understand, let's do the quick presentation that always sort of explains things. So Naftali Bennett is an Israeli prime minister. Okay, this is in 2010, long before he was prime minister. When he's just an Israeli agent, high-ranking Israeli agent, and this is him talking to IsraelNationalNews.com.
Moetzet Yesh, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
I came here to learn.
Okay, so that is your absolute proof that Wikipedia isn't necessarily true 100%, but it's the narrative that they want us to have. Without a shadow of a doubt, they control Wikipedia. So when I then use Wikipedia as a source of information, understand that there's not a better source I could be using. I'm using the information that the enemy admittedly wants me to have. Right? This is what they admit, that they want us to learn from this source. It's the number one source of information in the world. You know, and he says that he even gives the example that if people want to search the Gaza flotilla, which is just another Israeli massacre, Israelis killed 9 people, 6 of which were execution style, and got away with it because they said, well, those people were attacking them while they were trying to attack them, while the Israelis were illegally boarding their ships in the middle of the night. Those people had the audacity to fight back, so Israel had no choice but to kill them. That's the Gaza flotilla, and I know that narrative because I looked it up on Wikipedia. So if you think that anybody can edit Wikipedia, it's because you're stupid. Everybody can't edit Wikipedia. They can suggest edits, but they can't just edit it. If they could, they could destroy Wikipedia. They could go in, click edit, click select all, click delete, click save, and just repeat the process over and over again, fundamentally destroying Wikipedia. You can suggest an edit, but it then goes to the editors that Israel taught how to do their job, so that they learned how to edit things so that it would have so Israel would have influence over how it's written and what is said, to ensure that that it's balanced and Zionist in nature. So if your edit is balanced and Zionist, then yes, it's allowed to stay. If it's not, it gets removed. So to then use Wikipedia as the source, you understand why I do it. It's what they want us to know. And especially when you're looking up stuff that has to do with Israel, to use the Israeli source is the best source, because this is what they want us to know. There's no hiding behind conspiracy theory or or any other typical bullshit. This is the narrative they want us to have. So you can't hide. Right? Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm-run social media campaigns to manipulate the outcomes of elections. So if you hear that and you think, oh, well, they can do elections. If they can manipulate elections, do you really think fucking with some dude's YouTube channel is that difficult? The group was exposed in February of 2023 after an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from Israel and France Israel, France, and gotta go down to hear the full list. France, Germany, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Spain, Tanzania, and the United States. The organization has been active since at least 2015 on paper. They've been active since just before Trump lost the election by 2.7 million votes. And AIPAC put him in anyway. The swamp. Remember, he's going to drain the swamp, but the swamp put him in anyway. That's AIPAC. And boasts of having manipulated 33. Gotta love that 33 always showing up. It was showing up like crazy yesterday. 33 elections worldwide, many of them in Africa, and in 27 cases with successful results. 82% of the time, this organization attempts to interfere with an election, to manipulate an election, the outcome of an election, they've been successful. They've only failed 6 times. That's pretty fucking incredible, right? 33 degrees, unexpected wave takes. Oh, 33 Ds. There you go. I thought you were actually being smart for a second. The 33 degrees of Freemasonry. According to Tal Hanan, the group's leader, Team Jorge has existed for more than 2 decades, not since 2015. And has been engaged in propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries. Their services have been available to government intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. Sounds kind of familiar. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. The software automates centralized control of thousands. If you read the articles, it's 30,000 at a time. As many as 30,000 bots at a time. Thousands of fake social media profiles on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. That's the automated side of things. Then we have this other side of things, which is called act.il. And this is one of those locked pages, right? So even your excuse about anybody can edit Wikipedia isn't quite accurate, since some of the pages are locked. Nobody can edit them. Act.il was a social networking service used by supporters of Israel to support online, quote, anti-Israel content, to oppose online, quote, anti-Israel content, such as the Boycott, Divestments, and Sanctions Movement, BDS. Its activities were referred to as a, quote, online propaganda campaign and a, quote, virtual situation room for pro-Israel experts. Act.il directed its users to, quote, missions to like, comment on, and share pro-Israel material on social media. It also asked users to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Users were guided how to respond, which might entail writing a reply using the provided talking points. You know, crackhead, liar, anything but. Isn't it amazing how the provided talking points are never examples of how good Israel is, how good the Jays are, how much they've helped people, how wrong I am about any of these things? It's only dumb shit. Oops, there we go, crackhead, yeah. It's only the same dumb shit. The app also provided users with ready-made memes promoting Israel's perspectives for them to share. That's the best part. By completing missions, users earned points, unlocked badges, which is prizes, and had their scores displayed on leaderboards. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange when you look at who's in the comment section and what they might, what might motivate them? Clearly, they're not here in support of killing pedos or eliminating the J power scheme that controls everything and commits the genocide and rapes the children and all that shit. They don't want to fight those things. Interestingly, at the bottom of the page, it suggested Ministry of Strategic Affairs. Let's see what this has to say. This is another one of those completely locked up pages. Funny how many Israeli pages are completely locked. There is no edits to be made. The Ministry of Strategic Affairs and Public Diplomacy is an Israeli government ministry responsible for leading the campaign of expanding the Abraham Accords and handling of ties on White House matters. Oh my God. What the fuck? There's their symbol. Oh my God. The shit's just, it's everywhere. It's the same, it's everywhere. It's not hidden. The ministry was created in 2006 for Avigdor Lieberman, whose Yisrael Bitinu party had just joined the governing coalition. Lieberman had demanded the internal security minister post, but as he was under police investigation and the post had already been held by Avi Ditcher, a new ministry was created for him. Right? They have to create these positions, these prestigious, high-paying, high-ranking positions for these guys who literally do nothing all day. But they have to have, they have to be getting this extreme paycheck somehow. They have to be considered important somehow. So they create a fucking position for this guy because he demanded one thing, but they couldn't give it to him. With the role of coordinating security, intelligence, and diplomatic initiatives regarding Iran and other strategic threats. Lieberman left the government on January 18, 2008, and the ministry was closed down in April. In 2009, it was resurrected and repurposed under Prime Minister douchebag, dickhead, piece of shit, Benjamin Netanyahu. The ministry was closed in August 2021 by the 36th government of Israel, but was brought back again by the 37th government with the appointment of Ron Dermer as minister. Alongside Dermer's appointment, it was published that Jordana Cutler, formerly an advisor to Prime Minister douchebag dickhead Netanyahu, and currently holding a senior position at the social network Facebook. Oh my God. A former advisor to Netanyahu has a senior position at Facebook. I'm sure she's completely unbiased. I'm sure that all of the claims that oh, Jesus Christ, it hurts to sit down, hurts to stand up. That all of the censorship and shit regarding Israel is completely unfounded. Why would anybody even begin to claim such ludicrous things? Who cares that a former advisor to Netanyahu is has a senior position at Facebook? Currently holding a senior position at Facebook, was expected to assume the role of director of the ministry. However, a few months later, it was revealed that Dermer had not yet endorsed her appointment, or that any other candidate for the position. In effect, as of May 2023, the ministry is still open without a director. Oh. Man. The ministry's Director General, Sima Vikingil, stated in 2016 that the budget for the ministry's anti-BDS efforts for that year was 44 million shekels, or $11 million. Well, it's a good thing that in 2025, we're getting statistics from 2016. And I guess for specifically the anti-BDS efforts, never mind the budget. Like, the budget isn't the budget for one thing. The budget is the budget in general. But they're giving us numbers from 2016 because that makes sense. Activities. Oh, I don't care about the activities, man. Act.il. The ministry supports and funds act.il, a grassroots mobilization app that directs its users to serve Israel online.
What are you doing?
I'm coordinating. For example, by commenting on and sharing pro-Israel material on social media, and to flag, report, and respond to criticisms of Israel. Holy shit. Activities are actually a lot crazier than I thought. Under Gilad Erdan's leadership, the ministry attempted to keep its activities secret. Erdan and Vaknin Gil even tried unsuccessfully to exempt the ministry from the Israeli Freedom of Information law. In 2016, Vaknin Gil VG refused to divulge details of the ministry's activities to a committee of Israeli parliamentarians. A lot of what we do is under the radar, she told them. However, the ministry came under a new leadership in 2018. Orit Farkash Hakohen became the new strategic affairs minister, and Ronen Manelis is director. Like, some of these names you would obviously see as J, but Manelis, you would never think Manelis is J. They announced that they intended to increase the ministry's transparency, which allowed previously secret documents to be published. And the reason that they do it is to brag. It's so that people like me find it, and that helpless feeling comes through. The ministry believes that state propaganda is less effective in persuading the public than institutions and individuals perceived as acting independently. The ministry has therefore created a network of domestic and international organizations to advance the state's message, purchasing favorable news coverage. In January 2020, the Israeli investigative magazine The Seventh Eye reported that the ministry was buying space on mainstream Israeli newspapers to promote its campaign against the BDS movement. Again, one of these things that you would think, like, if it wasn't legitimate, then why would Israel devote so much effort to it? The movement that suggests, ending the funding and basically cutting Israel off. If Israel is so independent and it's so powerful and it's so, third thing, then why are they so opposed to the idea of being cut off? The campaign began. Like, again, look at these dumb comments, right? It's not like you're discrediting what I'm saying here. This is not only is this Wikipedia, this is Wikipedia that can't be edited. So are you trying to now, like, last resort sort of mock because really there's nothing else you can do? Because this is telling the people right here exactly why you guys are here. You won't say it. When directly asked, like, what is your motivation to come here day after day and You know, you could be doing so many other things in your life. You could be. I think you're just a fat broad. So, but you could be, you know, eating stuff and getting paid for it online. You could be doing anything. Wow, a cardinal. That's really cool. And instead you're here day after day after day. If you think that makes me feel like I don't matter, like you don't really understand how that works. But to ask you like what you're thinking and to say, oh, well, it's just entertaining. Again, if there's nothing else in the world is more entertaining than me, I'll take it. Like that's not a big deal. But you seem to really oppose the guy that thinks we should kill pedos and cut off, you know, and eliminate this J cult that pulls all the strings and all that shit. The genocide, the pedophilia. You seem to be opposed to all that shit. So what is it that motivates you? And now look, she's gonna just keep saying dumb shit, right? Yeah. I mean, again, to say that mocking the guy who's reading you these kinds of things and exposing these pretty much these open secrets. The guy, like, if you think mocking that guy makes me look bad, like, okay, you know, I'm sure there's most people are going to be like, that doesn't make any sense. You could be doing anything else. And this is what you do day after day after day after day after day. Like, that's fucking weird, man. I agree it's weird that I do what I do, but to then have, like, such devoted fans, it's really weird. Imagine how, you know, that seems like Israeli guilt sort of coming through. Like they have to come here to get punished, to get made fun of, to get, you know, to be the example. Because they know what pieces of shit they are, and they know they deserve some sort of penance and whatnot. And that's on the inside. That's not even shit they realize. They think they're doing it because, I guess, they're making fun. I mean, again, like, it just seems strange to me. Of all the people in the world to make fun of, the guy who wants even you, if you're not a pedo and you're not a J, I want your life to be better. I mean, I essentially want the J's life to be better. According to them, I want them to have all of their Israel. It's so beautiful there. It's so perfect there. Everything is so much better there. Go. All of them should go there. But see, look at this shit. Like, yep, I do it on my own, blah, 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 blah. Everything but answering the one question. I don't really, you know, need much from them. Right? They're just goofy clowns who play the role. I ask one question and they just won't answer the one question. And the other thing is I've given all of them a chance to prove that they were real too. Prove you're not just a Team Jorge bot. Prove you're not some dumb Israeli. Make a quick 5-minute Guy Williams sucks video. You know, where you're talking to the screen. Post it, and then we'll watch it together on here. I'll show everybody you saying what you need to say, and, you know, you'll get your point across. You can point out what I'm getting wrong. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But it'll be you saying it. People will see you saying it. We'll see you're a real person, and we'll go from there. And every single time it's like, well, you're not worth doing that. I'm not worth making a quick 5-minute video that you can then delete afterward if you want to. But I'm worth being here day after day for hours at a time, any time of the day, which was proven yesterday. Isn't that amazing how that works? The campaign began in summer 2017 with the budget of ILS 7 million. ILS is the new Israeli shekel. Okay. To influence media outlets such as Who Gives a Shit, the Jerusalem Post, and the Keshet Media Group. Oh, God damn it. The ministry paid $120,000 money to place articles in the Jerusalem Post and $70,000 to sponsor a conference hosted by the newspaper. In exchange for the sponsorship, the ministry received a 30-minute panel at the conference, which included a screening of the film produced by the ministry about BDS and anti-Semitism. Prior to the conference, the Jerusalem Post published several articles and op-eds about supposed links between BDS and anti-Semitism. Oh, I'd love to see those. I'd love to see that shit. It's so stupid. And the reality is, BDS is anti-Semitism. Because Semitism is policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. That's what it means by definition. So if you oppose, and policy and predisposition, the rules and regulations and how people go into anything, before you know anything about it, you go, well, if it's J's involved and they're going to get the favor, that's predisposition. That's supremacy. That all of the rules and all of the regulations and the laws and all of the perceptions, they have to be favorable to you. So to say that BDS is anti-Semitism is accurate. It's just we've been so programmed how to respond to that we feel like that's saying you're a racist. It's not. It's telling the truth. I oppose supremacy. It's just anti-supremacy. So those links are everything. Anytime it's anything other than us just shutting up and doing what we're told, that's anti-Semitism. You're not being who you're supposed to be. Karen Peretz of the ministry's public arena arm told the Seventh Eye that the payment included sponsored content, but a spokesperson for the ministry later stated that Peretz was mistaken and that the payment did not include a series of articles. The Jerusalem Post denied that the articles had been paid for. Of course. Well, if they say it, it must be true. In October 2020, the Seventh Eye reported that the ministry in 2019 had paid the Jerusalem Post nearly $120,000 money to publish the special supplement entitled Unmasking BDS. The ministry's own officials were interviewed in the supplement, as well as Republican Senator Ted Cruz. Of course. He's a good boy. Closure of bank accounts. In 2019, the ministry announced that the financial campaign had resulted in the shutdown of 30 financial accounts belonging to BDS promoting non-governmental organizations, NGOs. 20 in Europe and 10 in the U.S. Among them, accounts belonging to Samadou Palestinian Pioneer Solidarity Network, the Palestinian BDS National Committee, and El Haq. The accounts were shut down through a combination of efforts by the ministry, Shirhat Hadin, and the International League Forum. This shit is just crazy, man. And it's you look at my feed, you see the same shit. Like it's so crazy. Everything just connects to each other. Everything's the same. It's so strange. And then the whole mustache bullshit. It's so stupid. Hitler was just a fucking actor, man. He was doing what he was told to do. Completely sponsored. The whole narrative is fake. The one thing you'll learn of when you start looking into this is just how many things, like, it's not far-fetched to assume Israel lies about something or completely makes up a story. I highly suggest you look into Hai Shalain, Shaulain. He is you gotta go get the jar. He's the guy who in 2020 was said to be the #1 Israeli protest guy when it comes to COVID, masks, shots, all these other things. He was said to be that guy. And he was at a no mask rally where he was arrested, taken to prison, taken to jail. 2 days later, he was taken to the hospital with what turned out to be super COVID because 8 days later he was dead. The day before he died, while in the hospital, he was somehow given access to a phone. And I mean, he's a prisoner, but he was somehow given access to a phone or a computer or something, where he posted that he was so sick he couldn't talk or respond to messages. But with some medicine and some prayer, he should be able to kick this in 2 or 3 weeks. However, if he doesn't, it's because he was poisoned by the police. And the next day he died. And the next day, of course, was his funeral. Of course, that's how it works. And yet, nobody else from that no mask rally where they were haka haka laka, where they were all yelling shit, no masking it up, checked themselves into the hospital 2 days later only to die from super COVID. As a matter of fact, I don't know of too many stories where somebody was healthy and then 8 days later they died from COVID. I don't know about any of those stories. I do know that after the fact, this is the #1 protest guy in the country, in the state of Israel. And none of his constituency, none of his people are demanding an investigation. This dude said he was poisoned by the police. Yeah. Thank you.
Is that water empty?
No. It's almost empty.
Good.
Thank you. It is empty. He was all of his people, or none of his people, were out there protesting, demanding an investigation into this guy who said that he was poisoned by the police. The #1 thorn in the side guy. Even funnier, #1 thorn in the side, #1 protest guy, had 0 social media footprint. He didn't exist. There were no stories about him prior to that. There's literally no evidence of his existence outside of that he was kidnapped by police and then died of COVID 10 days later. It's just a bullshit narrative. This is what Israel does. They lie. Look it up. Tell me what I'm wrong about. I would love to hear it. You know, the thing is, it's stuff like Team Jorge where I am the one that's been exposing Team Jorge since then. I've seen, the other day I saw a video about it on Instagram. And it was fantastic because, I've been clamoring for this to happen for a long time. You can see video after video after video of me exposing Team Jorge. The thing is, I only knew about Team Jorge because I happened to read the news that day. At that time, I had stopped watching the news every day because it was just COVID, Trump. COVID, Trump. Like that's literally all it was. And it was such weak, dumb Trump nonsense. It wasn't like, what was going on at the time, the Katie Johnson story, that shit wasn't front page news. The Abraham Accords, that wasn't front page news. It was just dumb, Monica Lewinsky blowjob kind of shit. Not the same thing, but you get it. It was all just distractionary bullshit that nobody was talking about Epstein. Nobody was talking, it was just crazy. And so I stopped watching the news because it was too much propaganda bullshit. But by not watching the news, I felt not necessarily uninformed, but I didn't know the narrative that other people knew. I wanted to know the narrative that was being pushed on us. Because I knew that the October 7th style false flag was coming, where no Israelis died and no Israelis were taken hostage. I knew it was coming, and it was going to lead to the Palestinian genocide. And so that was like the main focus for me, was looking for the clues, And I called it long before it happened. April or May of 2023, saying that I believe Israel will do the false flag and then genocide thing by the end of December 2023, and if they don't, I'll stop doing live feeds. I said it multiple times, and I only said it because I was so confident I was right, because of the way it was setting up, not because I'm some psychic. Actually, it happened a lot sooner than I thought it would. They were a lot more arrogant and brazen than I thought they would be, which is my fault. I should have expected it. But I needed to give myself at least some sort of window, making such people give like Nostradamus credit for predicting things because they went in after the fact and saw some writings that kind of match maybe some sort of little way an event that might have happened, like the Twin Towers thing. But that's not a prediction. A prediction is you saying it before it happens, and people can essentially bet money on it if they could. And that's what I did. I presented it that way. Yeah, there's definitely, I've been saying it for a while, but they're going to play the card when they need to. They'll play the mass shooting card when they need to. When we get really, really rambunctious and something big comes out and they need a distraction. They haven't needed it yet, so they're not doing it. There are multiple little things that keep happening. But the big, everybody pay attention to this. That, and there's going to be the false flag against American soldiers from somewhere like Yemen or whatever that supposedly signed the Abraham Accord truce.
I think your mom signed the Abraham truce.
She's dead, thanks.
I know. She's alive with Abraham. Duh.
Wow. Well, very, very, very chartreuse of you. I'm going to start using words incorrectly because they sound cool. What's up, tall
Oh my
man?
God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Jesus.
Come out here. Come out here.
Christ.
What are you standing on? Let me see.
Oh, look at this.
Oh
head
my
doesn't
God.
Even do it. Holy shit, my head doesn't even...
Dad,
I know, look, my head...
I'm a better barometer.
No, I am, for me.
Oh my
Good
God.
goddamn gravy.
Oh my God.
That's terrible. That's just terrible. Why they gotta be like that?
That's what I get for letting him go through the parking lot.
Yep. You fucking...
3-inch growth spurt.
One
Like,
second.
seriously, that was significant. You could see him standing in the doorway. You could see it.
Yeah, you always can. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm done. Tired. Hope you have yourself a wonderful day. And as always, most importantly, you pedophiles, you kill yourself. Okay?